What's up, guys? Oh, Muhammad here. What are we doing here? Seriously, what are we doing here? Why is this world even a thing? Like, there's so many unanswered questions for me. Just everything doesn't really make sense to me. I don't want to get on here and speak about my harassment. I kind of just want to go back to the things I was stumbling onto before harassment. Why do we live in a world with so much lies, so much deceit? People blindly doing satanic worship in front of us. Sacrifices you hear about on the news and TV. Celebrities, rappers, singers always, when they perform in front of us, they're always doing some type of ritualistic dance. This is why even, life without harassment, bro, I would still not participate in anything in this world. And it's like, this is why I don't even really watch TV as much anymore. I watch my movies, especially when new movies come out, like, especially if I hear about a movie like Sinners that supposedly have like a bunch of spiritual messages, good ones that help you out. I'll watch them just because of that, but it's like I can't even watch a TV show or, a show or just something on TV without just seeing heavy subliminal messaging, signs and, Freemasonic cult things, and it's just like, why can't people see the things I see, bro? Why are we even living in a world like this, bro? Hell, why am I experiencing a life where I'm literally getting tortured by a whole city? Excuse me. Literally getting tortured by a whole city, but you got criminals walking around in the community living their best lives. And it's so funny, we deal with, people calling us all type of crazies and weird and sex offenders or some serial killer murderer. I mean, whatever the case is, whatever the community think of next, people just blindly just listen and follow others, and you have no criminal record, no history of violence, nothing. And people with actual criminal records who's actually a threat to people, they out in the community talking with motherfuckers, something just don't feel right, bro. A lot of the times, bro, I just feel like this is a conquered planet. We're just cattle for the system. A lot of the times, man, when I be trying to get on here and make videos, I really just want to, I don't want to even talk about this type of behavior. Honestly, I don't even think I'd be on here if I didn't experience what community-oriented policing is. AKA gang stalking. I don't think I'll be on here, but I know for one thing's for certain is I know I'd be talking to people and constantly, having these spiritual conversations, if you want to call them that, just so people can understand what type of person I am. It's just like, it's like, I have so many questions, bro, and I feel like everything they tell you in this world, what it is I feel like it's just pieces. I feel like it's they don't want us to know the full truth, so they just give us the things they want us to believe and talk about. I'm not denying God and all that shit, but it's like, why do I just get this weird feeling, that people just want to control me, and if I don't listen, I burn in hell, and it's just like, why is it like that? Why am I even living in a world where it's, people who literally are a threat to human beings, and I, never hurt a soul in my life, and I don't wish to hurt anybody in my life. I just want to live life in peace, but it seems like I'm getting torture done to me that actual, fucked up people should deserve, actual people who's a threat to children, who's a threat to other human beings, like, something's telling me I'm receiving worse punishment than them. Is it that they're Satan's children? Is it that this is hell? And these people are just the demons? I mean, what is this? What's the purpose of life? I guess I'm trying to figure it out. Because when I look out in the world, all I see is chaos, confusion, destruction towards each other, murder, killing, steals, lies, rumors, projection. Everybody acting like they know it all. And I'm being honest, I don't know shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. But I just know I trust my feelings, I trust my judgment, I trust my intuition, whether that's gifts from God or not. But I know I can see more than what the average person can see. I believe people with actual, even though people like to label people schizophrenia or bipolar or some shit, I feel like people, even with those conditions, like people with schizophrenia actually see things that people don't see. And then when they do a study on their brains, they actually see when they're having an episode, their brains is activating in certain parts. And they're really seeing something. If anything, that's a gift. And I think this world turns it into a curse. And I myself, not no schizophrenia shit. I don't see random shit, but I've seen things that didn't make sense, bro. And what's funny is I seen a lot of shit in Pittsburgh, And I seen my first, I'm just going to go off topic a little bit because, I don't think I ever really made a video speaking about all the things I've ever seen in my life. And I seen about a good with both hands, handfuls, of things. The first thing I've seen something is when I was young. It's when I got my shoulders broke in Pittsburgh. You could probably find the Pittsburgh article too. It's with like Pizzagate or some shit, Postal Gate or something Gate. I think they shut down. It was like an old newspaper company in Pittsburgh, PA. But you can, I was in the newspaper when I was, I think I was 13, 14. Some fucking big ass swole motherfucker that broke my shoulders or whatever. Like just this. I literally put my arms crisscross behind my back while they were still crisscross, pushed up to the point where my arms were over my head. And I know for a fact this nigga heard my bones break, bro. And this nigga, I was 13 years old, scrawny, small little fucking kid, bro. And this nigga, it's a big white guy, swole as fuck, like huge, picked me up, slammed me. And then what's so funny about the incident, before I even get into my spirit, I'm just going to tell that shit because I don't think I ever told anybody that, that experience. But pick me up, slam me, put me on my arm. When you're supposed to restrain a child, you're supposed to put their hands at their side, And he put my arms behind my back and pushed up while they were still crisscrossed over my head, bro. And everybody sat there and watched me, bro. Even there was another staff there who was sitting there smiling. And I'll never forget while my arms was broke, I was starting to spit up blood and everything. And I'll never forget seeing how all the kids and, the dude was sitting out right there as well. And like these niggas were just smiling, bro. Like, and the reasoning behind that was because apparently it was my job to do trash, quotation marks I can't see, quotation, hand gesture. It was my job to do trash, right? And no one told me, and I never knew, I was told I had another chore and I was doing another chore. And then so, for whatever reason, these niggas was like, hey, bro, didn't I tell you to do the trash? I'm like, no one told me to do the trash. Told me to do that. And I forgot what it was, but I just know it was something about the trash. And he was like, we told you to do the trash. And then for whatever, it was like, it's called Presley Ridge. If you're familiar, you're familiar. It's in Pittsburgh. I forget exactly where, but it's called Presley Ridge. And he was like, well, that's BS, and I forgot how it went, but I just know he made us walk because he thought I was lying. And we was walking through like the woods, and we just kept walking. And then he asked me again. And I was like, I don't fucking know, like, bro, you just, like, and I'm like 13 years old, bro, like, and it was like my first couple of days there, bro. Like I was there for like a couple of days, like 5 days, bro. And in my 5th day, these niggas was on bullshit. And I said again, I didn't know, bro. Like, and he was like, you're lying. And then we made us walk again, right? He made us walk again. Like, oh, this is how I know my whole life was a sacrifice in Pittsburgh, bro. You know, I don't care if people don't believe me. This is the internet. This city wanted to sacrifice me. You know, I guess this life is just this video is gonna turn into my life story, bro. Whatever, you know. But I remember, you know, I said again, I don't know, and we were walking. I think we walked for like a mile, bro. But we was walking through nature, and the staff just kept having us walk. And then I guess, you know, I said again, I was like, bro, I don't fucking know, bro. Like, I forgot what it, like, I was basically irritated because I really didn't, like, no one told me anything about the trash, bro. And then what do you know, all the boys that was in on us, I guess, or, you know, in the little, I guess, wilderness camp or whatever, I guess they got mad at me, and every single kid charged me and beat the brakes off of me, bro. Beat the brakes off of me, bro. And I was on the ground, bro, after they beat my ass, bro. And all this staff, the one skinny staff literally told her, hey, bro, that's it. Like, he broke them up, got them off of me. And I got up. And I was like, I swear, I forgot what I said, but I know I yelled at him. And I stumbled forward because I was kind of daisy or whatever. I was like, and I pointed my finger. I was like, you mother. You know, I know I was flipping off at them, bro. And I remember I stumbled forward a little bit. And that big white dude just came, trucked my ass, picked me up, slammed me, put my arms behind my back, crisscrossed, and pushed them till they were over my head, bro. And I will never forget the faces, bro. All the kids that were there, they were all smiling. The other staff member was smiling. And I know that big motherfucker, bro, like now as a kid, bro, like I remember I used to think, oh, maybe he didn't know, but now I know as an adult, bro, like this, I know he felt my arms broke, bro. And then I got up, right? And I was, bro, oh man, this shit bringing about old emotions. That's crazy. You know, I remember getting up, bro, and my arms, like, bro, my arms were broke. Both of my arms were fucking broke, dude. And I fucking was like, I was crying out of my, I was like, bro, you broke my fucking arms, bro. Like, you broke my arm. And then the big swole dude, like, the smile on this demon's face, bro. Like, this nigga was smiling, bro. He was like, nigga, your shit ain't broke. And the other staff in front of me, he stood, like, right in front of me. And, yo, bro, this nigga stood right in front of me. And he was like, bro, stop playing, right? And stop playing. And I remember coughing up blood. And it almost landed on him. And he was like, ooh, man, watch what you're doing. He shoved me. He was like, watch what you're doing, man. And then, oh, shit, dude. And then I was crying out of my head, bro. This nigga, bro, that was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life, bro. Both my arms were broke, dude. Like, literally broke, you know. You know, you have two bones. You know, you have two bones, like your arms connect, your arms going down, you got two bones. They both of them were snapped. Like one of them, like not both of them, but one of them was snapped. But on both arms, they both were snapped. And oh my God, the student, it's so funny that he stayed back. If the swole dude would have walked me down, he probably would have killed me, bro. He probably would have killed me and buried me somewhere, bro. I guarantee it, bro. Man, I would never forget his smile, bro, when he got up from breaking my arms, dude. Just smirking, dude. And then all the kids, bro. There was at least I think a good 10 kids there, bro. Like, I'm telling you, that shit was a ritual, bro. My mom said, and I'll never forget my words there. She was in a hospital with me, skipping. No. Before I even get to that far, this nigga was pushing me down the hill, bro. And he was like, and he's like, you better not be playing with me. He's pushing me. I'm crying, bro, all the way down, bro. And this nigga just pushing me. Fucking. Oh my fucking goodness, bro. I wish them. Never mind. Let me continue. And when I get down to and this video is gonna be longer than 20 minutes, just saying that. I remember getting down to they had like a hospital on Presley Ridge. I forgot what it was. After we walking through the woods forever, I'll never forget, bro. I was sitting in the thing. She was like, oh my God, what did y'all do? She checked my arms, did the little x-ray and everything. She was like, oh my God, what did y'all do? And then I remember this fucking, that's how I know these niggas was demons. Yo, Pittsburgh been fucking playing with me my whole fucking life, bro. When I think about everything I've dealt with in this city, bro, these niggas, my whole life was a sacrifice, bro. You know, and this is just gonna be my story before I die, bro. It is what it is. You know, my whole life, bro, these niggas been torturing me in Pittsburgh. Every traumatic experience or bad thing that ever happened to me happened in Pittsburgh, PA, bro. And I'll never forget, this nigga was in the hospital. I remember the emotion I was feeling in my 13-year-old mind, bro. This nigga is sitting there talking about something, and I stopped hearing what he was saying. I heard the first couple of like words, and I turned my head. I didn't even want to look at this nigga. This nigga just got up and walked out because he knew I wasn't want to. He knew I didn't want to hear that bullshit, bro. He was like, "Oh well, you know, the boy who cried wolf or whatever." Man, I turned my head, bro. I'm 13 years old, bro, and y'all literally just y'all got mad at me for no reason. The kids got mad because they felt like I was bullshitting, and they jumped me, and then you fucking niggas just put they paws on me. Like 10 fucking other kids put they paws on me, and I get up talking about you mother, and then you didn't pick none of them motherfuckers up and slam them and break their arms, bro. You broke my arms, bro. Like, you know, long story short, you know, we got the case or whatever, you know, I won the case. I got like 90,000 from them assholes, you know, but even when my mom came, bro, you know, because my mom sent me there, bro. It wasn't even that I went to it was foster care or anything. No, my mom sent me there, and I'll never forget the words she said. She said, oh, she sent me there because she thought it would make me tougher or whatever. And, you know, I'll give her props, man. She was, like, I did wake up, and I woke up, and she was laying on my stomach or whatever, like she was sleeping like on my stomach, like, well, not on my stomach, but like on her, she had her arms on the bed or whatever. And you know, I remember waking up and seeing her, but she said that she was like, she sent me there because she thought it would make me tougher or whatever. And it's like, I think I don't, like, honestly, bro, I just think it was a part of a ritual, bro, a sacrifice, because that wasn't the only time some weird shit happened where, you know, it was her fault that she put me through. And man, dude. And I guess getting into the spiritual aspect, I don't even know how I got here, but you know what I was going to say about the spiritual cry. I remember, you know, so after that incident, and I was in the hospital for a little while, bro. That was the worst. I remember that was the worst feeling ever. Every time I got up to use the bathroom, bro, I was just crying, bro. It is so much pain, bro. Like, every time I got up to use the bathroom, I was just fucking crying, dude. That shit hurted so bad, bro. Like, that pain is embedded in my memory of having both my arms broken, bro. And if you want, you can, I think there's a way to look at it, but if you want, put in my full name, I forgot what did you even put. You know, if you're familiar with Pittsburgh, put that old newspaper company name in, I forgot what it's called, Postal Gate or something, but they made a news article on me, and you can even read what I said or whatever in the newspaper article and everything. Just put my name and then Larrel and last name Dallas, and put in Presley Ridge, I guess, incident, and put my name in after that. And you can probably, I think there's a way to find the article or whatever. You might have to pay or something, but it's a newspaper company that never that shut down or closed or something like that. But I believe you can still find it. But I went to a group home or like some type of living place. I was just there. I don't even know why they sent me there, bro. But it was like a transfer or something. Like, I had to sit there before I could go back home. And you know, I remember I was sitting in there, and like I said, niggas had to feed me and everything. I couldn't use the bathroom or nothing by myself, bro. Talk about embarrassing. But I remember I had like one of those hospital beds. I had to lean up. I had to get one of those special beds where I could lean up because I couldn't lay down because of how my arms were in the cast. And I'll never forget, I was watching TV. And I wasn't watching nothing scary or anything. I just remember watching TV. They put the TV in my room because I couldn't get up or walk or nowhere. So they put like a makeshift TV, like they slid it in there. And, you know, I still don't even remember what that place looked like, bro. But I just know I was in there laying on the bed the very first night, and I think I left after that night. I left in the morning. That's what it was. I had to go over there for whatever reason. I had to go over there and wait to go home. But I remember I was laying in bed, bro, and I guess you could probably blame it on me just waking up, but it was just too distinct, bro. You know, and I dozed off for a second. I opened up my eyes, and I know I was up for sure, bro. Like I said, I lived through life logical. I was even logical as a kid back in the day, bro. Like, but the TV was in front of me, and I remember it must have been like 12 or maybe 1 that night. I just know it was dark as fuck outside, and it was dark as fuck in my room. But I had like the moonlight was shining in, so you could kind of see inside the room. I'll never forget, bro. Something woke me up. And I remember opening my eyes and, my eyes getting adjusted to the darkness and then the moonlight and, seeing how the moonlight hit the room and it was kind of illuminated a little bit. I seen a shadow in front of me get all the way up, bro. Stand all the way up. And it looked like the outline of a female. And it was all black, bro. It was all black. And I'll never forget. I don't care if you don't believe me. It is what it is. But I remember just looking at it, and in my head, of course, I was scared, and I just started yelling out of nowhere, but it didn't do nothing, but it looked like it was slightly getting taller and taller and taller, and I just started screaming, bro. I was screaming out of my head, bro, and then I remember I turned my head because I didn't want to look at it no more, and I was just screaming like, yo, crying out of my fucking mind, bro. My arms are hurting, bro. That shit there was crazy. And I remember, they came in, turned on the lights, and it was gone. But, I was going to make this a spiritual video, but it just turned into something else because I low-key forgot about that shit, bro. Like, and it's just like every experience in Pittsburgh was just so negative. It's funny how this was going to be a spiritual video, and then it turned into like it is what it is, man. But one thing I can say for certain is every memory in Pittsburgh, bro, was just so bad, bro. Just so bad. Like, I remember the first time I got locked up in placement, bro. First time I got locked up in placement, my mom was on one of those temper tantrums, and I just remember she beat the shit out of me, whelps all over my face, back, stomach, chest, ass, legs, just everywhere, bro. And that night I had an asthma attack. I had a bad asthma attack, bro. Like, even when I was born, I had to stay in one of those incubators like the first couple of months I was alive. Bro, it's something about this world, bro, where it's like, nigga, this world showed me death my whole life. It was like it was always destined for me to fucking suffer and die, bro. I just don't know what it is. That's why this world always felt like hell to me. But what else? I got put into placement. That was the first time I went into placement. I think I was about 9 years old. And then she cried or whatever. It was like, oh, don't you beat your kids or whatever. But man, it was whelps all over me, bro. They looked at my back and just seen whelps everywhere. I remember the doctor, it was a female doctor. She like gasped, bro. I guess I just had a bunch of red marks on me, on my back. And she was like, who did this to you? I said, my mom, And then, of course they took me or whatever. And the very first foster home I went to was in a old black abusive lady, bro. It's like, bro, I just never had a chance, bro. Like, there's something about this world where I'm telling you, bro, it wanted me to fucking suffer, man. I don't really have vivid memories when it comes to staying at certain group homes and foster homes, especially when the ones that I got abused and then I had to get up out of there, but that's why I have this thing where it's something about black folks in Pittsburgh. I'm not even being racist, but I'm just keeping it real, bro. Something about black people in Pittsburgh hate me, bro, on a spiritual fucking level, bro. I don't know what it is, bro. These people just hate me for whatever reason, bro. But I just know every foster home, bro, I don't want to speak about it, bro, but just know I went through every type of torment you can go through. And I already said a couple of times the type of the things I've been through, bro. But it's multiple, bro. It was just multiple, bro. And then when I went with my mom, back and forth, in and out placement to my mom's crib, abuse with her, her trying to kill me. And then, it was group homes, beating, abuse, the only reason why I even got to this point of me telling, I just want to tell, how my life went in this world, I don't even know, I don't really know what the purpose is, why I'm here, but I just want to tell my story, I don't want people to feel sorry for me, or, I don't want people, I'm not trying to be the victim, fuck being a victim, bro. This is why I'm still alive, bro. I ain't no victim, but I just want to tell, I don't know, bro, I just want to tell my life, some story. I'm not really good with storytelling, it just be moments like this where things just spring in my head, bro. I'd be like, oh, yeah. Like, man, like shout out to Brandon, bro. Shout out to my first best friend, Brandon. I remember, man, I looked at him and his mom as like my second family, bro, like my second mom, bro. Me and him, we were like the superstars in our old childhood town, bro, or a little singer place in Wilkinsburg. And we were best friends, best rivals. Like, nigga, man, my mom used to lock me in a room so much, bro. I remember this nigga used to come to the back window and play catch with me, bro. Like, this nigga used to come to the back window and play catch with me, bro. And it used to be like, I remember so much. I remember like every positive person, everyone who really treated me right or negatively. I always remember almost every interaction I had with that individual, And Brandon, I'm saying, that was like my first best friend, bro. But I remember this nigga used to come to the back of the window. Y'all used to be on punishment so much, bro. If it wasn't my mom getting drunk and beating me for no reason, I would, being a badass kid at school, getting put on punishment for weeks at a time. It was a shit show with my mother, bro. But like most of the time it's like she didn't want to deal with me. And a lot of the times I feel like she did a lot of shit because she saw my dad within me, bro. But, I remember this dude used to come to the back window, bro. He used to bring us football, bro. He used to play catch from the window, me in the back window and him in the backyard. Like, and it was like, we lived on it was almost like a cul-de-sac almost. Like there was houses on the top of the hill, and there was a hill that went down and then a little street, and there was two ways to get up to Singer Place where we lived, like on both sides, two streets to get up on there. Like, I want to go back visit over there, man, just to see. But, we used to, this nigga used to be like, man, when you getting off punishment, bro? Like, I don't know, bro. Whenever my mom felt like it. And like, I remember I used to always go over this nigga house, bro. And it's like, whenever I seen his mom, I remember I was low-key scared of his mom because she had like burn marks on her. But, I still loved her, I got used to it, And like, I literally saw this dude as like my brother, bro. And it's like don't get me wrong, I had like a handful of good memories with my mom, bro. But really, I guess what kept me on the right track, was the fact that I had good people around me, bro. Like, even when I was on Singer Place, bro, I remember, man, I remember my cousin lived up there too, or like an auntie or something, I had so many memories where we were just like being kids, bro. I don't know, bro. Like, I remember a lot of shit from my childhood. I just don't think this is the video of it. But, shout out to Brandon, bro. Like, I low-key grew up with him all the way up until I was like 15, bro. And I remember even before I left, I remember like before I left, bro, I wanted to go see him one more time, bro. I remember my mom punched me dead in my face, like, a type of punch, like, you do when someone piss you off or you about to fight some nigga. She popped me dead in my jaw, bro. Shit leaking. because I asked her. I was like, bro, I was like, Mom, can I go to Brandon house or whatever, go see him? You know, and that's when we were older or whatever, you know, way older. Man, she really was like, this, you gay? You want to go see this nigga every day? You don't want to sit in the house with me? And it's like, bro, and you know, like I said with my mom, bro, I ain't have a good relationship with her, bro. Like, you know, it was always like a stress. It was like stepping on eggshells being around my mom. Like, I ain't know, like, the slightest thing, bro. Like, she couldn't find her pills or something. She couldn't find her alcohol. You know, she just beat you for no reason, bro. Like, she was that type of mom, bro. You know, you want to, like, you know, I don't want to go into detail, but it is what it is, you know. But, you know, a lot of my good memories came from my granddad and my grandma. Like, I remember, I just got memories of them always coming to my mom's crib. Just the same thing every time they came. As soon as they bust through the door, like, so every once in a while, they'll say, like, if they see me in already in the living room or like the PlayStation or whatever, they'll come in, hey Mika, how you doing? You know, shit like that. But majority of the time, every time they used to bust through the crib, Mika, where's Rail? You know, where's Rail? You know, get up there. First question they ask me every single time, hey man, how you doing? My granddad, hey man, how you doing? Hey, your mom been hitting you? Like, just a cycle on repeat, man. Like, it's just, you know, and it's just like, you know, skip forward here, you know, none of the old traumatic bullshit, you know. Skip ahead, you know, when I look at this harassment, when I see the things people be doing to me, like how every day I step outside, and mind you, life before Pittsburgh, bro, when I was in Atlanta, like every day I stepped outside, it was like a new day, a genuine experience, seeing new people. Yeah, I might see the same friends, same people I hang out with, but it was every day was like a good day, bro. But when I look back at my past life, my first 15 years in Pittsburgh, I noticed it was a pattern to everything. The same bullshit, bro. And when I look at the harassment in Pittsburgh and the things people are doing to me, it's the same exact thing, bro. The way it's like, bro, you know, I ain't trying to scare other TIs, but I'm telling y'all, bro, some of us are chosen from birth, bro. Some of our family, and you know, I don't blame my mom. You know, my dad was like, what, 25? She was like 15 when she had me. So, what, she might have been like 14 or some shit, like. Oh man, dude. And apparently my dad was loved by the community, but now being an adult, I just know what it was, you know, and it clicked to me. You know, that's why I understand. That's probably why he killed niggas, because niggas probably found out the type of shit he was on, you know, and he had to lay motherfuckers out, you know. You know, and I'm not saying I agree with that shit. I'm not saying I like my dad or whatever. Honestly, I didn't know my dad, but I just know he wasn't really a good person, you know. And I know my mom, bro. You know, that's why I used to hate my mom, but now it's like after experiencing, and it's the torture I deal with in this city, bro. It's like I think about, bro, what if, you know, what I was experiencing, my mom was going through the same thing? What if she didn't even sell me out? What if it was just the system fucking with her, bro? You know, and think about it, they didn't have technology and shit back then, you know, like when I was like, when I was young, like technology, phones wasn't a thing. You know, people were more connected, you know. And whenever some vile shit like that happened, you know, in the family, I mean, y'all know how it is, especially in the black families. Y'all know how it go. You know, you fucking uncles and shit be on some creep pedophile shit. You know, granddads and shit. You know, touch somebody in the family. You know, everybody, no one talk about it, but everybody know it happened. Type of vibe, bro. That's why I look at this shit today, bro. It's just the same shit, bro. But now it's worse, because now y'all label people things that they're not, bro. But meanwhile, it's shit y'all label TIs run rampant throughout your own families, bro. It's shit crazy, bro. Like, and it's like, it's just going back to like, what are we here for, bro? Like, what are we even doing here? You know? Like, why do I gotta live a life of everyone torturing me, bro, acting like I'm a monster? Like, it's almost like the way I feel, like this world really trying to push me to being a negative person, bro. So if I do, turn twisted, in a spiritual term, would God even, you know, would I be justified if I just say, fuck it, you know, I'm gonna start laying niggas out? You know, wouldn't it be justified? You know? But it's like, I know in my soul, bro, you ain't got to worry about me ever spazzing up, bro. It's not in me to go crazy like that. It's not in me to bring harm towards anybody in this world. But, that's not even half the shit I've been through, bro. And like I said, bro, every bad memory I've ever had to endure came from this fucking city, dude. That's why I just know, bro. Shout out to the real family members out there. The ones who really showed me love and shit. But my family, bro, I'm telling you, my family's into some ritualistic bullshit, bro. It was either that or my mom was just truly beyond being broken, And that's just what it was, bro. That's just what it was. Oh, sorry, I had to stretch. But, it's just like, this is why I be having my doubts, about even believing. Because a lot of the times, bro, like, I be having moments where old memories just flood in my head, bro. Especially, like I said, when I wake up every day and I just see the same Truman Show, the same people leaving. I go to the bathroom, motherfuckers run in the bathroom. When I run in the bathroom, I jump on the elevator, the same people jumping on the elevator. I leave out, the same people synchronizing with me. It's just like, bro, this shit gotta be hell, bro. This is hell on earth, bro. I don't know what this shit is, bro, but a lot of the times I be feeling like this planet got conquered, man. And, I need to learn to start being myself, bro, and really expressing how I feel again. That's one thing I can admit about this program. It's like, bro, y'all almost taking me from who I am, bro. Because I'm seeing how you motherfuckers is. And I gotta remember that y'all city is just like this. I know people ain't never really going to understand what I'm talking about or what I'm really experiencing, bro. It's only a select few that really get me because the message was for them, because they're probably dealing with the same exact thing on my level, bro. Where everywhere you go, bro, it's the same bullshit, the same tactics. Everybody looking like they, you hate you, like you fucking done killed 1,000 people and they can't touch you or some shit, bro. Like, shit, like, I just don't, man, like, I don't know, man. Like, when I think on the spiritual side of things, bro, I feel like I was here to help motherfuckers. I feel like I was really here to help people. But it's just some type of darkness in this world, man. Where it's like, I feel like the evil, like when I see the thing, like the way people be acting around me, I can tell that same evil that been attacking me my whole life in this city, bro, is the same thing that it already took control of these people, bro. Like, these people don't even know empathy. They ain't the type of motherfuckers be like, man, fuck what y'all talking about, man. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. See, I got that type of energy, bro. I don't care. Even when I make these videos, I know I developed some type of weird speech impediment problem due to this program, but, bro, I'm still gonna speak my truth, bro. It don't matter. One thing's for certain, bro. After finding about secrets of the world, I know it's up to me to tell others, if, it's either people gonna understand, not gonna want to hear, or they on the wrong side and they know, but they know, nigga, shh, you can't say nothing about it, and they're gonna fucking be forced to hate me, but it is what it is, bro. Something about this world is a dark place, man. I'm trying to help other people. If God's the way, he is the way, but I'm letting other people know, like, it can get bad for people, People are really going above and beyond, bro, to make people's life a living hell. And I just want the flying monkeys, the people who don't really want to look into things or see why a nigga is the way he is. Understand, bro, there's people behind the scenes pulling the strings, bro. Making people dance like puppets, creating problems out of nothing, And I'm one of those ones, bro. I just don't know what it is about this world, bro. I just know I want people around me to be happy, but for whatever reason, this system, it wants me to be bad, bro. It wants people to look at me like there's something wrong with me, or, I'm losing my shit or something. I don't know when I'm going to upload this. I think I'm going to probably wait a little bit. I don't even know if I'm going to upload it. I might. If I upload this, just know it's going to be a while before I upload again, because, this is just me. Me telling a little slice of my life, You know, like I said, I don't want people to fucking think I'm trying to be a victim or whatever. But like I said, I just feel like it's important. I wish I could hear everybody's story, you know? You know, but if I'm going to die, I'm going to die, you know, but I'm going to leave something behind. You know, give other people strength, man. You know, despite what you go through, bro. Don't live in fear. Don't live in anger. You know, don't harm others. Don't do what this world did to you to others. You got to be strong, and that's why I can see deep within my mind and my soul. That's why it's so hard to go be with God, you know. You gotta ditch everything, you know. This is why some of us face some type of repercussions and bullshit within our lives, bro, because you stuck in a balance, bro. Like, you doing fucked up shit, bro, but God, it's like he knows your potential, bro. He wants you to do better. But these people, these demons, these people, and your harassment, things you deal with, they know that too. That's why it's like they try their best. You can just tell off of the things that they do to you. They want you to snap, bro. They want you to do something regrettable. You know, they want you to stay in sin. You know, and yeah, I failed a lot, man. But I promise you, I'm going to beat y'all, bro. I'm going to beat my own darkness. I'm going to beat my own fucked up way of thinking. You know, and I'm going to beat you fucking devils within this city. You know, just one step at a time. It is what it is. But I'm letting the world know that there's real evil roaming. There's real fucked up people out here, bro, who's literally putting putting resources, time, energy into trying to destroy a soul, bro, to destroy a life. And there's whole communities backing them, bro. There's whole communities backing them. And I'm telling y'all, bro, this shit is about to end. And y'all not going to be ready for what's to come. But the people who've been dealing with this their whole life, we survivors, bro. Trust and believe when society falls, y'all going to rise. We going to rise. You know? And we're going to have to be the new leaders in the new world because we know how to survive. We know how to adapt. And they don't. They're controlled, led by the system. Don't know how to think outside of it. You know, don't know how to think for themselves. Because if they did, so many people participating in this program, they wouldn't be participating whatsoever. But I'm actually getting sleepy. I'm damn near about to pass out. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. You know, this Muhammad, I'm out. You know, sorry. But you know, always take into consideration, bro. Everybody got a story, man. And I feel like people need to really understand why people are the way they are. Not everybody is a monster. Some people are made to be monsters. You know, some people's reality is being controlled by outside sources, you know, and I'm here to spread that truth, you know. Yeah, I might have my fucking problems, but I'm telling y'all there's someone always behind the scene of everybody who you think is fucked up, you know. There's a story for everything, and there's a way to help people like that as well. But you're never going to do that by indirects or subliminals, or hey, he don't talk, or you weird, that's the crazy guy. You ain't going to get no one to fucking do what you want them to do by being violent and, you know, being disrespectful, you know. You know, I'm learning from my own mistakes. You know, you got to understand people. You know, you really got to feel people. You got to have empathy towards people. You really got to, you know. But yeah, this video's long and I'm starting to get sleepy. But yeah, this Bahamut, I'm out of here.